Okay.
Welcome to another episode.
I was trying not to interrupt you because you fucking scream at me if I do.
Welcome to another episode, everybody, of Thank You for Your Services podcast. This is a podcast that Matt and myself made for people like you, people like us. We all have jobs out there, and if there's one thing we can complain about or relate on, it's bullshit at our jobs.
It's work, yeah.
So, anybody in the service industry specifically, let's see. Today's Friday, and by now, the Black Friday craziness should be over for the day. So I figured we would have a couple guests on who have worked retail for a long time, just like I have. Not so much Matt, but you obviously know our previous guest many times, Mikey Fresh, and my girlfriend, Melissa Kearns.
Oh, a full name.
Government name.
Yeah, the government's out.
Oh, hope somebody doesn't find out who you are. Well, anyway, Matt's a little under the weather today, so he's not on the pod today.
I am on the pod. You told me to not interrupt you because you had an idea.
Yeah, but no, I wanted to do like a retail centric episode today. You know, just in lieu of Black Friday, and like the holidays are kind of kicking into gear now that Thanksgiving and Black Friday are over and stuff, and yeah, and then after this we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome our esteemed guests.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Hi.
You know, we had a safety meeting at work before we left for a 5-day weekend about drinking and driving like we do every week.
Ooh.
It's fucking unbearable, these fucking safety meetings. But we learned that Thanksgiving is the third highest death rate in the country on the road.
Right behind
New Year's and Christmas.
Eve. I was just about to say that.
Well, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is always like a huge...
It's bar day.
It's a huge bar day because a lot of people that moved for out-of-town work or like are in school
They
usually get
congregate.
back. Yeah, they usually get back in town that day, and it's like, oh, let's all go to the bar. And it's like a high school reunion, and it's like just a... Ugh.
That's yucky.
It's known to have been called Dranksgiving.
Whoa.
Dranks?
I know. I learned that from the meeting. They were also trying to say Blackout Wednesday, but the one of the majors called it Black Wednesday, and I turned to my black friend very slowly, and we both started fucking dying laughing. And then him and our other black friend just said, "Well, why don't we have off Wednesday then? Doesn't say if we have off Black Friday."
Well, you have a 5-day weekend?
I sure do.
Damn, I only have like a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
Same.
Samesies.
Because we normally have off Mondays, and we came in this Monday so that we could have this coming Monday.
I would
off.
rather do that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So we worked Sunday last week when I was out for training, and we had off Friday. And I was like, yep, I'll do that. Everyone else was complaining about working Sunday and only having off Saturday when we're out. I'm like, dude, we technically have off Thursday and Friday, but like
That's
we
fantastic.
just have like fly home Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm
I
like,
see.
you have off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What more could you want?
I don't know. 3 days off
And then
is
4-day
the best
weekend
way.
the next weekend. Like, come on.
Dude, yeah.
Personally, I love having the Monday off.
Me too.
Monday is a nice day to have off. You can get
Same.
everything done.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was like a rumor. One of my coworkers heard about us switching to 410s a week.
Yeah.
And like some people would have to work Monday through Thursday. Some people would have to work Tuesday through Friday to like make it work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I will do Tuesday through Friday all day, every day.
Absolutely.
Like all week. Sorry, not all day.
No, I knew what you meant.
All week,
Yeah.
every week, because that's just... I'd rather have off Monday.
I
Yeah.
think the rest of the country is going to start going to a 4-day work week for the employees.
I think it was probably just a rumor, but I heard whispers of like a 410 style last year, but nothing ever came of it at my job either.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of businesses are switching to that model now.
It's better.
I wish it was me.
Yeah, you get
Oh.
3 days off a week, and then
There's so much recharge time.
you're pretty much like, what's an extra 2 hours like to the day just to
Nothing.
have that third day off? Like,
if
I'd
you have a
rather-
break in the middle, doesn't fucking matter. To
I
me.
can't tell you how many times I've worked 9, 10-hour days anyway, and just didn't even realize it. Like, oops.
Yeah, sometimes it has been shown in studies that you don't get more done in a 10-hour workday than you do in an 8-hour workday. So sometimes I guess 5 days a week, 8-hour days are better. Like, I don't know.
Is it better though?
I don't know. I love having 3 days off, but sometimes 10-hour days when you start at 6 a.m. fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That does suck. But
I'd rather be done earlier in the day too. So I always opt to sacrifice the time earlier. Like I'd rather come in earlier to get out.
Well, because you almost make your own time card of your work, right?
I could if I wanted to. Yeah.
Okay. Like you don't have to work exactly 9 to 5. You could go in from 7 to 3 or whatever. if you
Yeah.
wanted.
I do 7 to 4
Oh, so you do a 9-hour day.
because I get an hour for lunch.
Oh, yeah. Right. So we get half hour for lunch.
Ew.
And they're so
Like 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
well. You work from home, so lunch is literally all day.
Oh, right. I forgot.
lunch
Ow.
is whenever you please.
No, I have
Yeah.
to be in a uniform all day long, and they're at fucking 6 a.m.
Dude, she has 0 commute. She has like her alarm could go off at like whatever 59 and then clock in and just roll out of bed and start. I
That's
don't want
rad.
to. I don't ever want to hear her say a word.
I did that when we were doing work from home. When the pandemic first hit, I'd be like, I'm still going to do like 8 to, I think I did 8. I was like, I'll do 8 to 5. I would literally wake up at like 7:50, put my coffee on, and then just take my laptop, go down into the basement, and then just like start making schedules or whatever the hell we were supposed to do.
or something like that.
Office work.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'd take my laptop outside, have a cigarette with my coffee, and just like get clocked in, start checking emails, and then go, all right, now I can go to the basement.
Is a cigarette with your coffee like the best thing ever? It seems like that's like the thing to do
It's-
in the world. I've never done either.
In the morning, it's good, I guess. I don't know. I just don't even I don't even realize it anymore. Like,
Is it like is it the physical act of smoking the cig and the coffee at the same time that's like so enjoyable of a combo or something?
sort of.
Because I know for a fact they don't taste good. They
I've
can't
heard
taste good.
cigarettes after sex are great.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Is that must be like a mood stabilizing kind of thing?
It is. So it's like
It's like a stimulant.
the one thing with like smoking, like times of stress, like go grab a cigarette, like it kind of helps bring you down, and like I'm guessing because like sex is just like a very exciting act, and like everything's all done, and then like
Yeah, adrenaline.
your adrenaline's pumping, it
endorphins.
kind of brings you back down.
It's funny for a stimulant to bring you down like that.
Well, yeah,
It's fun.
it's a mental thing because
Yeah,
technically,
it's all mental at this point.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? Did I tell this last week on the pod that I was told I have high blood pressure?
No,
Really?
I believe it though.
That's
The
a
doctor-
while ago.
No,
you
no.
brought this up before.
Yeah, well, I got told again last week. we
Second opinion.
So we had a COVID scare at work. We got exposed to COVID. So me and my buddy went to go get tested. Well, they tested us in the same room together, and they even grabbed all of our shit in one hand, like all of our testing swabs. And then the doctor came in, and she said, "Okay, you guys both don't have COVID, and you don't have strep, but I'm concerned about because your blood pressure's high." And I said, well, yeah, I did kind of a Tom Segura thing, but I told her, I said, I'm like super strong and my blood is highly pressurized. She laughed really hard, but then she was like, no, seriously, it was like 144 over like 90. And I went and looked that up, and the highest it's supposed to be at my age is 140. And I was
only a little guy.
140. Yeah.
Little guy.
But I think I'm just amped up all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And what's standard? 120 over 80, I think.
Maybe.
no clue.
I have no idea. I never knew what the numbers meant. They always told me I had high blood pressure and I never got any numbers. So.
Here's your numbers. And you're
Yeah.
like, what does it mean? Numbers.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You can tell me 120 over 80. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah. I'm
I
not
don't
listen, I'm not good at division, so I never knew.
That's like an A++.
Yeah. 120 over 80.
It's like we could give you 5 plus 1, or we could give you 4 plus 2. And I'm like, sure, whatever that even means.
Yeah, what's with the over and under?
I don't know.
I'm not betting on my blood over here. But yeah. So anyway,
Apparently you are.
yeah, I guess I am. I'm losing.
Well, speaking of smoke breaks
Yeah.
and high blood pressure, I wanted to know from both of you guys when, like, since Black Friday is over now, when's the last time either of you worked a Black Friday?
Last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
last year.
When did
Yep.
I leave H&M? 2008? No, 19.
Yeah, because your new job started.
Yeah, it was actually it was at Target. That was the last time I worked Black Friday.
Right.
And fuck that.
So
Anyway, that was
two Black Fridays. No, three
Yeah.
3 Black Fridays ago
Yeah.
was your last retail Black Friday.
Yep. And then I never now that I don't work retail, I literally avoid all the malls
Oh
and
yeah.
stores on holiday ish things just because I'm not gonna make someone else's day worse than it has
No,
to be.
yeah.
No, that's great that you do that.
Because literally, one, I hate when it's busy like that because I feel heightened anxiety because I already know how the air kind of feels when it's Black Friday. So
Yeah.
it's I don't want to be around that.
I want to come back to that thing that you just said about how you want to not put people through stuff. What?
I don't want to be another person that someone has to
Yeah.
interact with when they don't have to.
That's true.
I want to stick a pin in that
But-
and come back to that. I have a question just for that.
Yeah,
what were you
there's.
saying?
I was gonna say I actually on Black Friday. Well, Black Friday was one of my favorite days to work in retail because it's so long, or not so long. It's just so crazy that it just snaps past.
Yeah,
That's true.
It goes by super fast, and yeah, there's a bunch of idiots that you're why the fuck are you here? But then there's also a lot of really sick people that I met that were really cool, people who probably did work retail and just understood, and they're probably some of the
Yeah.
coolest customers I met were on Black Fridays. But
That's
yeah, that was
true.
my favorite day to work because I would work 9 a.m. to whenever we closed. Even if we opened up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. whenever it was, I'd be all right, well, I'll come in. Depending that is I would do mid shift, so I was there during the craziest peaks, and then make sure the store can be closed in time.
That was going to be my next question is what were your what was a Black Friday shift for either of you?
So
Not just standard, but any of them. Crazy.
Some
ones.
years it was between 5 and 5:30 on Thanksgiving.
So starting 5 p.m.
On Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And
Damn,
there was only a couple years, and then it would be if we would be open 24/7, and then I would come back because I would work 5 to 1, and then I would come back at noon the next on Black Friday or something like that. Yeah.
Damn. So Thanksgiving, you're literally putting your plate in the sink and then going to work.
Yeah, and when I got promoted, obviously, I lived in Columbus, so I wasn't coming home for my family
That's
really
true.
didn't do Thanksgiving anyway because my mom has been in healthcare my whole life, so
So she's probably
she was
at work.
already working. Yeah.
My dad is not a big Thanksgiving guy either, especially after my mom died, the matriarch of the family, and everybody kind of splintered off.
Mm-hmm.
We've never done Thanksgiving with my family ever again, and
Yeah.
nobody gives a shit.
I've hated Thanksgiving my entire life. I don't.
Yeah,
I
this
choose
was-
not to celebrate it.
This was our first one in a decade at least.
Oh, with your own
With
family?
my own family, yeah.
Oh.
It's
What did
usually
you
just,
think about it?
That was fun. We all brought a little something. It was kind of
That's fun.
I've done Friendsgivings before. It was
Yeah,
pretty
that's the
much like
best.
that.
A real Friendsgiving, not a forced one like Matt talked about last week, are the
No,
best
yeah.
kind.
Yeah. When everybody's all right, one of us is going to do the main, whoever's hosting does the bird or whatever you're
Yeah.
eating, and then everybody brings something else.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
We're literally doing that next weekend, and I can't wait.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So what about you, honey? What were your what was a Black Friday shift at either of your jobs like that?
So at H&M, it was kind of fun because we all H&M always put a holiday collection or something out that would only come out on Black Friday. That's only when you could get it. And all of us obviously would take it out of the totes and put it on hangers so we knew what was coming on the floor. So we would put everything that we wanted on the side so we could wear it on Black Friday.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So we did that a lot for H&M and it was great. They always catered for us, and I think the last one I worked there was a 10 to 7 or something. But I know they were probably
10 p.m., 7 a.m.
no 10
10 a.m. to
a.m.
7.
because
To 7 p.m.
how all managers had to work a Black Friday, so one would open the store, one would come in an hour later, vice versa, you know.
Right.
That's how I scheduled it too.
And then Target, they obviously opened for Thanksgiving, so they just kind of like stay open.
They're open on Thanksgiving
Yeah.
Day? Okay.
And like obviously it's like at night, so like
Yeah.
they kind of flow in, and then I would come in like around like 8 when we actually like open.
Mm-hmm.
And then like all we would have to do is just make sure the store was like clean, and then like if something was empty, just fill it. But Target hated when you would fill it with like something random. Like it had to be whatever the thing was supposed to have on it. But
Like
it's
something relevant.
Like H&M with their like, if say like Black Friday, like the $9.99 t-shirts were gone, we would have to go put something that was at the same value on the
In
wall.
that spot.
Because that makes sense, because you want to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But Target was like, oh, just leave it empty. I was like, absolutely not. So I would just put whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't leave it empty. It just looks worse than.
Yeah. So, but Target, they cater to, which is great, because people shouldn't have to worry about where they're getting their lunch if they're working a holiday.
Oh, they cater for the staff?
Yeah.
We would.
Oh, thank goodness.
We would do something like that too.
Yeah,
Like we would
so-
either like bring in somebody like potluck, or
Yeah.
I would just be like, all right, cool, let's just get a shit ton of pizza or
Yeah.
something easy that I know is gonna make it, and we
And
can all
everybody
eat it.
can eat it, yeah. But yeah, that's typical. But I mean, when I worked in that part of the Baltimore district, like people, like I don't know where they would come from, but they were so messy. They would always be stealing. They'd always be, and like the thing is, like if someone's stealing in retail, I'm not looking. But obviously, I wouldn't let anybody know that. But I'm like, I'm not.
Right.
Let God take care of that.
Well, because you can't do anything anyway, technically, right? I mean, you can.
At H&M, I could like call mall security so they can catch them out
Yeah.
the door. But I'm like, you guys have like a 0.3 like shrink. You're fine.
Yeah.
And same with Target. It's just like we had our own employees stealing out of electronics. So I mean,
Jeez.
so it's just one of those things where I was just like, I didn't see anything. You do you over there.
I do not see it. I'm walking away.
But I mean, people shouldn't have to like be stressed out on like getting like things for their family on holidays. Like that's how I think in my head. Like especially like clothes and like food. Like I'm just like, these should be like a thing like for everybody. So
Well, when I was in a band let me emphasize, a long time ago, I may or may not have been associated with people who were into certain criminal elements back then, and they would call it Rack Friday because it was the best time. It was the best time to steal very lightweight, valuable things like North Face jackets and other various things that you could then sell back to a store for store credit, and then buy things.
What's really funny is I know exactly what band you're talking about.
I know.
doing that may have or may not have paid a few merch bills or sent us on tour, maybe a couple of times.
Wow.
YOLO.
I had a buddy that worked as one of the like the secret squirrel guys that would be
Post it up.
Yeah, but I can't remember the name.
Secret
it's like
shopper?
PC or
It's
It's a,
LPC, loss prevention.
LP. I was like, I know it's like 2 letters. Yeah, he was loss prevention, so he worked at a very like expensive store, and they would keep the fucking suits, and he would complain to me all the time. I'd cut his hair. And complain to me all the time that they would keep the suits, like the $1,000 suits, right by the door, so that people would just walk in, grab them, and run. And he's like, once they're off store property, I actually can't do anything.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Chase them?
Yeah, you can't.
When I worked down at the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, like my one manager was like, chase after them, and I'm like, no, because I'm not gonna do that.
Are you fucking high?
I would rather eat a brick than chase after these people.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you're going to eat a brick if you chase after them.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
you will, yeah.
Ironically, yeah, you'll get one for free. Do you think I'm gonna chase somebody for $14 an hour? Are you on drugs?
yeah, like
No.
no, well, absolutely. I think I was making $15 an hour as a supervisor, so
Yeah.
there was no way in hell. I don't like. They would literally pick up stacks off the table,
Yeah.
put that stuff over the like security things, and then just run out. It's like I'm not gonna chase people for $12.99 pants.
Yeah.
No.
especially if it's fast fashion. That shit's
What's
gonna
that?
be,
What's fast fashion?
It's like easily made fashion, but that people don't get
Like
paid.
sweatshop?
21.
Yeah.
Fashion? Oh,
Exactly. Sweatshop.
Yes.
okay.
Exactly. Sweatshop. Yes.
Yeah.
So-
Forever
it's just-
21, H&M, Shein, all that shit.
That is fucked up. They call it fast fashion.
I actually have a friend working at Target this year, and she said she's making time and a half
Yeah.
for working Black Friday. Did
Yeah.
they always do that?
Yeah, I think so.
That's fucking sick.
Now,
That's one thing they're doing, right?
Yeah.
One
I
day.
hated working for Target. I will never work for that company again.
Do you shop there though?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I love Target.
That's a given.
I know.
I
I
was gonna say, who doesn't?
I
As-
feel like an asshole shopping there, but
As a consumer, it is a very valuable store to
It
have
is.
nearby.
really
These
convenient.
pants, Target.
Oh
These are
yeah,
like my new
dude.
favorite pants.
Are they good fella?
Yep.
I've never talked about
25 bucks a pair.
specifically where I worked in food service, but one of them was Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, like we had to work on Thanksgiving. You could volunteer for it because it's a holiday.
Did you guys have like the open at regular time but like close at noon or like close at 3? I know a
think-
lot of grocery stores started doing that within like the last 10 years or so.
I think
Or it's always been like that. I have no clue.
we closed at like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And Whole Foods would do this thing where they would they called it catering, like they would cater your Thanksgiving. Like you could buy your entire Thanksgiving like dinner through them, and then you'd have to do pickups that day. So like there would be multiple people assigned just on check in and check out of that, and the store is a madhouse the day of Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a fucking grocery store and there's people picking up their orders and shit.
That's why we grabbed everything we could Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
Like sane people.
She's
should.
off Monday. I was like, and she was like, "Oh, it's gonna be sick. Everyone's gonna be at work." She was like, "It was in a madhouse then."
Well,
Monday morning. I think like 10 a.m.
I was just about to say, but I can't imagine. Wow.
Have you
fucking-
guys noticed since it's been getting darker earlier, there's just now more people on the road right now? Is that happening to you?
Yeah, a little
think
bit.
so.
I don't know where they all came from, but it was never like that before leaving work, and now it's just
it's
insane on
It's
the road.
totally like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that is anymore.
Oh,
Just because
you
I
don't
don't.
Shut
you don't have a commute.
Well, I used to have my H&M commute. That was when I worked at the harbor. It was an hour, both ways. And then I worked at White Marsh, which was 35
What's White
minutes.
Marsh?
It's kind of like
It's on the way to Baltimore.
yeah. So if like
Oh,
you
I
go
thought that
to-
was the name of a store.
It's
it's
like
a mall.
It's a location.
Yeah, it's a mall.
Okay, got it. Was that
So-
outdoor mall?
No,
Oh.
but that was a 35. But I would have to come into work at like 7, and that's when everybody's commuting down to Baltimore. So it
yeah,
was
that's
awful.
insane.
And then now, like, I like rarely like leave my house on weekdays just because I don't really have to.
That's fantastic.
And
all your stuff is done already. Like you don't have anywhere to go.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like I usually do all my like normal stuff like on the weekends, so I'm like already grocery shopped, like little things like that. So it's just
You got
It
gas
to-
in her car.
it literally it feels like having this job compared to my retail job, I feel like I have control over my life because when I worked retail, like I was always exhausted because of my commutes.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like I was just like, bro, like what is my life? And then I would come from the Inner Harbor up here because that's when him and I started dating.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, she was coming an hour.
I don't know how you guys commute so much. Like you guys just drive a lot. I'm sick of
I make
driving,
him do
man.
it.
He
Yeah.
loves to drive.
Dude,
You're
when I-
driving us tonight, aren't you?
I don't mind.
yeah.
I don't mind driving either.
As two people who've been on tour before, and we've been on long stretches of time with long
true.
drives every single day, it really puts into perspective what a 30-minute drive feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's 35 minutes in traffic when it should have taken you 5 minutes, then it's just like what?
That's
what the
different.
fuck?
That's a little different, yeah. But like I can knock out an hour drive with my eyes closed.
He'd be sleeping.
Sometimes I do close my eyes behind the wheel. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, don't do that.
Anyway,
Don't be another
I've
one.
done that before. I used to smack myself to keep myself awake.
you put
just
the
like-
windows down.
No, I just do that. Yeah, like
Oh,
I've
especially
done
when
that.
it's cold, window down, and just
Chew some.
Yep.
Like a dog. Chew some gum. Drink some water. I splash water on my face.
oh,
I've done that
dude.
before.
One
Turn
time
the heat off.
I was coming home at like 2 a.m. I had just worked a 10-hour shift. My band had a show in New York, I drove to New York. On our way back, I was like, all right, cool. Like, we'll get home. It'll be 2 a.m. by the time we get home, and I'll get enough sleep to go work another 10-hour shift, that next day. Well, we were like the last car that a cop car just pulled in front of and started swerving across 95 with his lights blaring. This is like at midnight. And he made traffic slow down. I think we were moving 5 miles an hour for like 2 hours straight.
Why?
And the lights, I don't remember. I think they were doing construction somewhere on 95.
That's happened to me, like where they do like the fucking convoy of like
Yes.
Del Dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. But I was still in New York when it happened. So it took us, I think it was like a 5-hour trip. Yeah, I didn't get home till 5 a.m. And the lights were blaring in my eye from the siren. I was nodding in and out. My eyes were just so tired and it was just burning my retina.
Okay, so one time, going to that very Whole Foods job, I had to, when I worked on the salad bar, I had to open at 5 o'clock in the morning to get the store ready for the day. So one time, when said band was recording a record one time, we recorded it in Wilkes-Barre. So that's a 3-hour drive from here.
Yikes.
We stopped, or I finished drums around 1 o'clock in the morning at the studio, and I was like, I have to be at my shift in 4 hours.
Oh, God.
And I was still in the studio, like, listening to stuff and doing pickups or whatever, like samples and stuff. And I was like, if I don't leave the studio at 2, I won't get to work on time. So I left. And I had already been awake that entire day because you get to the studio at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever the fuck with all your shit. I had to take all my shit out, lug it, pack my car.
Oh, you guys booked one full day. Is that what you did?
Well, the rest of the band stayed up there because we had a member who lived in Scranton.
Okay.
And I left to go to work. And I was so fucking tired that on 476 on the Northeast Extension, I pulled over to the shoulder and I put a timer on my phone and I slept for 10 minutes.
I've done that before. Yeah.
And then I woke up and I was fresh as a daisy. And
Cat nap.
He does this
Yeah.
all the time. Like we went and saw
I went straight to
Cannibal
work.
Corpse
Oh, yeah.
and Sanguisuga Bog in Richmond. And the thing is, like, that drive, it's only 3 hours, but it feels like a century.
That's, yeah.
It is weirdly close to her parents' place. Yeah.
But literally, he was falling asleep, and I took an edible, and I was waiting for it to hit, and I was like, I'll drive until my edible hits, because then I'm fucking out. He slept for like a good hour, and when I was like, hey, like, I can't drive anymore, we pulled over into a gas station. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to drive. Hey. And I'm like, peace. And then he gets pulled over, like, I think like 10 minutes after we changed.
Something
Thank
like
God.
that. Like we left Richmond at 1 o'clock in the morning or some shit.
It was so, like, we got home so late. I think it
was like
called
6
out.
a.m. when we got back. I
Yeah.
think. Well, anyway, like we switched and I got pulled over for going over 60 miles an hour or something. And then the cops saw where we were from and they're like, just take it down and just be careful. Get out of here and let us go with the
Scram, kids.
Yeah, but he loves driving so much, and I'm like, thank God.
It's not that bad. It's really not.
I don't like it. I'd rather take a train everywhere.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, yeah, sure. Oh, I wanted to get back to the working thing real quick. Have you ever done like a record? You ever done like a fucking marathon Black Friday where you worked for like a day and a half straight?
No.
No, because I've
No?
never had
I'd
more
kill
than
myself.
I've never had more than one job at one time. Actually, that's a lie. No, actually, no, I did. I did do a 1 year when I worked at Guitar Center. My first year there, I worked. I want to say I did like the opening shift. It was like 6 a.m. to whenever, and then I literally had 30 minutes to make it from Christiana Mall all the way up to Brandywine Town Center on Black Friday.
Jeez.
And then you have to find parking. Nightmare.
Luckily, at Brandywine Town Center, like
There's a
It's
lot.
a huge
There's a-
parking lot.
it's
yeah.
a lot of parking, and I was able to park like right in front of Guitar Center.
There's a parking garage too.
Underneath of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
no one.
yeah,
That's
by Red
where
Robin.
that's where I parked because no one ever knows to go down there.
I used
Everyone-
to park there when I worked there.
Yeah, everyone always thinks like the top.
Forgot all you guys worked. Remember
when we couldn't actually? We were told to stop parking at the top one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I'll just go underneath. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
One time, I remember how they worked. They opened at 6 a.m. I was gonna say, as a Black Friday shopper, have either of you guys had any like W's, like major wins on Black Friday?
Never shopped the Black Friday.
Never, not even online.
I only did once in 2005 with my dad because he had never done it either.
Okay.
And we wanted to see what the hype was about.
What happened?
It was it was terrible. We went to a Best Buy. I think we were there for 20 minutes.
I
got one CD, and it was a fucking trash CD. It was the band Aiden.
Oh my God,
no.
R&B. Of course.
They're not around anymore.
I don't think so.
I
If
remember.
they are, they're completely irrelevant.
Dude, I got the CD because a magazine I had kept comparing them to the Misfits. They called them like horror punk and all this. I was like,
They're technically
right.
That's
They're
a
kind of
stretch.
like horror related. Anyway, I bought it. I listened to like 20 seconds of a song. I was like, I actually hate this. What have I done?
Old AFI is more if you're a Misfits
Right,
fan
yeah,
than
like All
Aiden.
Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
EP
Before.
and all that.
That was the last. That was their last release before they completely switched.
Yeah,
too.
we're talking
okay.
Nitro Records stuff.
Okay, I don't know. Liz knows all that. I never got into AFI. I just like that one record. Yeah.
all of their shit from like All Hallows Eve and back, you would probably love.
Yeah, very proud
Honestly,
of you.
yeah.
Answer that and stay fashionable.
It's all punk music.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one, Liz. You're right.
See, I like they're literally doing one show for Sing the Sorrow in California.
So far.
Yeah.
So
and
far.
literally, I would die to see that.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah,
did they
I
not-
love Sing the Sorrow.
They didn't announce other dates.
Not
There's
yet.
like people that like I know aren't going to go to California that
I'm
were like
definitely
posting
not.
about it.
Well,
We can only hope.
I don't know.
enough.
We'll see.
Hot take,
We'll
real
see.
quick.
But
My Chemical Romance's first album. I brought you my bullets. You brought me your love.
I can tell you this is an ice cold take. Keep going.
Really. You're not into it?
listen,
You guys don't. Like it?
I was a.
Were you going to say that it's a great record?
That's my favorite record by them. Yeah.
That is like
That track.
I think
a
that's
widely accepted thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
For
That's
you,
not
Oh,
a
I
hot take.
figured everybody thought Black Parade was like their best.
No, I think that's their.
I think it's the
worst.
opposite.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh no, I
that's
think the one after
consensus.
Black. See, I like the Black Parade.
See.
I thought the one after Killjoy. I didn't even buy it. I listened to it and I was like, "This is."
You're talking records with commercial success.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
talking about like records that people may have not bought it, but have widely accepted that as their best work.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
bought
but-
that without
Even-
really even knowing who they were, and I
Even,
just loved it.
Even
Yeah.
3 Cheers.
Three Cheers is a great record.
3 Cheers and they're. I never remember it. Those are the only two I ever listened to. By them.
Oh, you didn't listen to the Black Parade. You didn't like
I
it.
listened to it and I said nope.
Oh, see, I liked it.
That music video was literally on TV. Nobody cared
That was on
about that
MTV.
anymore.
Which
For
one?
sure.
What?
VH1 too.
What? Which one? The
Black
Three
Parade.
Cheers.
The Black
I'm not
Parade.
okay.
Parade.
Oh, Black
Yeah.
Parade. Yeah, that was huge worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song, Cancer, is incredible. Even if you don't like that record, you don't like that song either.
See,
huh?
like I missed the
can't even
boat
tell
on
you what it
them.
sounds like.
I think
Yeah, I have no idea.
like
Yeah.
it was my
That song,
like my
Black
period
Parade,
of
was
time.
so bad. I was like,
I don't like that song, but
Yeah,
all
it's
the rest of the songs on that record are great. I actually play that song "Cancer" live with Twitching Witches. Anyway, what were you about to say?
Literally, like I think MCR it was like MCR, Panic at the Disco,
MC
and then,
Army.
and then like Paramore.
Yeah.
And obviously I like dove into Paramore, and the other two I was like, I don't like this. But people literally like they just did their comeback tour.
Yeah.
And like I've had like people like my friends like they were like barricaded and like crying and like they were so excited about it.
Yeah.
And I can fully understand because like when your favorite band doesn't tour anymore or make music anymore, you're like, what the heck? But yeah, I like obviously know Helena. That's a record success.
Oh yeah,
I'm Not Okay. Like
great song.
they're songs that obviously I know because they're pop punk songs. But yeah.
I have a hot take.
What?
MCR
You don't like them at all?
MCR not good.
Keepers of the Faith is the worst Terror record.
I never even got into Terror. I saw them live one time, and I like met the singer, and I was like, I don't think I like the people here. So they're all kind of trash, like the fucking people that go to their shows.
Yeah.
They're a good band. I mean, I remember them.
Hot
Great,
take. I don't like
great.
Terror.
Oh, you know?
That's another hot take. People are like, you like Terror?
No.
Great.
I like Terror.
They're fine.
They're
they still around?
They're fine.
Yes.
Yeah, they're still going.
Yeah, I saw them.
Oh, yeah.
I saw them last. They're actually, not gonna lie, really fucking good live.
They are.
I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
Terror to be one of my favorite bands live, like as far as like being super solid. And speaking of stick tight, super tight.
Cool,
live.
cool. I guess when it's when that's your whole job, better be
You
good.
better be good.
You better
at
be
it.
fucking good.
That's fair.
I'm jealous as shit of people who get to do that for a living.
Unearth was fucking wild too live.
Yeah.
Another
I never
band
listened to
that's,
them.
another band that's super solid live.
Anyway, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on that. I love MCR, and I met Gerard Way one time, and he was rad.
He was
I
probably
feel like
super
I'm-
nice.
I was getting kicked out of Warped Tour at the time, and he was cool.
I feel like I'm taking away from this conversation because I want to get back.
No.
to
I just
You're fine.
we were talking. I don't remember how I.
Well,
but it got.
I brought up the topic of like, have you worked like a nightmare Black Friday?
Oh, because of Aiden. That's why.
So,
We were talking
have
about
you gotten Have you gotten any wins on Black Friday?
Yeah.
One time, I did. I only went to Black Friday or participated in Black Friday one time, and it was to go to Guitar Center
Oh.
because I knew they opened at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I purposely got there as early as I could, like 5:55, because I bought a DW 9000 double pedal that is normally like $629
pedal.
or
It was
it was
something.
probably like 300.
It was $299
Yeah, it
that
was like
day.
at cost.
So I was like, I'm waiting in the front of the line to get that and get the fuck out and go home. And
Did you get it?
I got it,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
So, are they making money on Black Friday then?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are they
yeah,
getting
it's-
if they're selling at cost?
They're
Well,
not.
people are
That
buying
wasn't
more
really cost.
because things are cheaper.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
it might have even been below cost, is what I heard.
It might have been. See, the thing is too is like what happens is what's really funny is the one that you bought. I guarantee you, if you would have went back in January, any stock that was left would have been red tagged because it was probably the older.
The older
Like
model.
now they're going to bring out a newer model, and that one's going to be 600. And like
It's
going
gonna
to
come out after NAMM or something.
Yeah, like that happened, especially with like music gear. They'll do that all the time.
I have
Like a
no
new-
idea
yeah.
how
It's
that
like
shit
It's
works.
like cars almost. Like we're like, oh, new model year is coming out.
They
So,
lose their
like,
value as soon as you drive them off the lot.
Exactly.
kind of
Pretty
a
much,
thing.
yeah.
It's the same thing with
Interesting.
music equipment when you leave the store, depending on what it is. Like there are some guitars that you can sell for more than what you bought it for, just because of what it is.
All of my guitars right now, I can sell them for more than like what they
There you
retailed
go.
for back in the day because even though they're not like American made Fenders, they're the Mexican standards.
Yeah.
Which now they have the Players series, and I have one that's a Players series, and it plays like shit compared to and it was more money compared to. Well, now it plays great because Mike Bookter hooked it up, but.
Oh yeah. Mikey B. shout
But
out.
still, like my other like Mexi made ones are just
Everybody loves
like,
them.
miles better. Yeah, like when they were like standard, not Players series or whatever the hell it is. So
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to swing back on just for a second was, when I was working that Thanksgiving at Whole Foods, the craziest Black Friday shift I ever worked was I went to Whole Foods and I worked Thanksgiving until closing was, or it was the day of Thanksgiving. So I left as late as I could because I think it was time. Yeah, it was time and a half. I had dinner with my family, and then I went to Urban Outfitters. For Black Friday, I think at 8 p.m. was when we had to be there, Thursday night.
and it was probably around that time. I think was like the first time like stores were doing like, oh, let's open Thanksgiving and not close, and then like a year or two later, they're like, that's fucking dumb.
It was Black Friday 2013,
Yeah.
and I worked through the night doing whatever, and then I left and went straight back to Whole Foods to open up the store for the day of Black Friday, and I was there all day long. I left at like 7 p.m.
You
Yeah.
wild.
I never, like I said, I've never had to do that, like, because I always only had like one job, like for the most part.
Yeah, I do not for people who work more than one job, like you are fucking braver than the United States Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Like it is so
I know. I
fucking
have
hard
friends that have like
to work
three
multiple jobs.
Yeah, Liz works 2 jobs.
Dude, it is-
She's always had 2 jobs at once.
It's very hard on you.
I did that in high school, but ever since then I haven't.
I have
had
some
to.
friends who work like 3 jobs, but like they get like 40, maybe 50 hours a week. And I'm like,
That's so fucking.
but
not
like they're
worth
work,
it.
but they don't have a day off. I'm like,
yeah, like
that sucks. Like,
No thanks.
yeah.
that kind of brings me into my next question for the retail staff in the podcast, or former, I should say.
Yeah.
what were your hours like at your jobs? And since they're both retail jobs, I know they're kind of interchangeable, at least until you got into like a managerial position. No, what were your work days like?
So
At any job either, not just one.
there was only like 1 or 2 jobs I had where I wasn't working 8 hours a day. Like there was a few, like when I was like 16, like 4 or 5 hour shifts, all that.
I
but
mean, like what part of the day? Were you always like 10 to
So-
7 or like 9 to 5, whatever? the fuck?
typically I was always either like, like the 9 to 4, 9 to 5, like that, or 9 to 6 was like
Yeah.
typical for me.
Yeah.
But or 8 to 5, and then 1 to 10, 2 to 11, like those shifts. Like
Yeah,
I
closing.
only really did mid shifts once in a blue moon.
Hated it. I hated mid shifts.
I didn't mind it too much,
I didn't.
depending on like, especially like the time of the year. Like on a Saturday, it would be cool because you can go out. Like if I want to go out with friends Friday night, I could still go out,
Yeah,
sleep in
you-
a little bit, and then go back out to a show Saturday.
Yeah,
Like,
you could in theory still make a show like very
Yeah.
much on time if you leave work at 7 o'clock and you're not
Yeah.
closing
Yeah.
and you're not getting stuck there. How about you? What was a shift like at H&M and whatever else?
H&M, like, it was literally every day was a different time, and that was really rough on your body. Because, like, it's illegal to do a clopen.
Big finger quotes. Let's talk about clopens too.
Clopens?
Keep going.
And so, like,
They're not
I did a lot of truck shifts. So, like, I would do 7 to 4, which that was, like, the best shift because you got off and, like, everybody
Yep.
else was still working. You're like, bye. And, but I
just
did, like,
leave.
9 to 6. I did 10 to 7s. I did.
What's a closing shift?
It was is it 11? What is it?
Depends on like, it was either 1 to 10.
Yeah, 1
if we
to
closed
10.
at 9, and then if we closed at 10, it was 2 to 11.
Yeah.
Or that weird fucking. I had one. Oh my god! I worked at one job where instead of closing at 9, we closed at 9:30
Ew.
on Friday, Saturday. So it was.
Yeah, you guys both worked in malls.
so it
you know
was.
this shit.
It was literally instead of 1 to 10, it was 1:30 to 10:30.
Yeah.
And it was and then I just said fuck it. I was like,
The
we're gonna do
last
1 to
half
10
hour.
and do I'll just open Sunday, or like we'll have somebody who like we'll have a good close that last half hour.
And then at Target, when I signed up for my position, they were like, "You're never gonna close. You're never gonna work weekends." Blah blah
Bullshit.
blah. And I was suckered in. I was like, "Yes." So
She's texting me like, "Are you listen to this offer? Are you fucking kidding me?
So,
No weekends
but I mean-
anymore?" And I was like, "Pump the brakes. I don't know."
But luckily, it was kind of true because I never really did close. I think the latest I would work was like 7 o'clock, which is nice because I had to drive 45 minutes home. But
there were no other places closer to you could work?
they just put me like
Well-
Oh, they transferred you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I
It's
was
not.
like,
It's
yeah, because at the time there was a Target literally across from the neighborhood I lived in.
Jeez.
You guys can both speak to this too. There's a thing in retail where obviously the easiest choice is the one that's closest to you.
Yeah.
Now, in a lot of retail businesses, it's not entirely specific to retail, but it's a majority. I'd say most of them do this, where if you want to move up in the company and make more money, you have to be able to say yes when they're like,
Right.
"Oh, we want to move you to store X, but it's an hour and
true.
20-minute commute or something." Like, how many managers or how many even middle management people have you guys worked for that are like, "Yeah, I drive 2 hours
of
home,"
them.
or some shit?
Like the woman who cannot be named at H&M, she actually lived in Delaware, and like I thought we were gonna be like cool ass friends because like we both like go to Delaware all the time, but no, she was the devil. And I hope whatever Target she works at here, I hope I never run into her because I'm gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I heard you got fired." Like I literally but
Waiting to use
I love
the
that
thing-
one.
But the thing is, I don't know why, but in my district, they would set me up somewhere and it would be awesome. Like all my management would be awesome. And then they would bring in the devil for everyone. Like we would fix things and everything else. And like, oh my God, nightmares. And it's like they wouldn't want us to help with like floor sets or anything, but like these kids, they're all college kids that worked at this Target, so they didn't give a fuck about this job. And like we would have like
I'm getting a
district
business
walks.
degree.
Like they're doing like district walks,
Business management.
Oh yeah.
and the like the store. Me and my friend that worked at H&M, we both went here to fix the store because their apparel department was literally trashed.
Oh yeah.
Their back stock was trashed. Like they could never complete a
Sounds
truck.
like Crisis Corner.
And literally, I would just like we would fix everything. Like people were showing up on time, and then they would bring in like the worst person possible, and they'd be like, "I don't want to work. What if she's working?" And I'm just like, I know, but like, you still have to show up for your shift, and like I hate like. I try to be as supportive as possible because, like, luckily that store people would come to the store to work because literally nightmare.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
you and I'm sorry to cut you off. You and Ashley made like a good culture to be at your work. So
Yeah.
I feel as though the kids that you guys brought on and trained would look forward to working because they'd be working with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's how those people should function in theory, but
Yeah.
they never do.
And like the best part of Target when we did overnights at Target, like especially if we had to do like really big
Yikes.
moves. No, like working overnight, they would just lock us in the store and they were like, "Good luck," and we would
Bye.
just literally like fuck around. I would like take a nap like in like racks all the time.
Like the pet beds or something.
Yeah, like it was.
You
really
mean like being
awesome.
like a little kid and hiding in like the
Yeah.
circle of coats or whatever?
Exactly
Just
like that.
But like
out.
overnights were fun just because no one was bothering us and we could get shit done. Like my manager would be like, "Oh, like where's so and so?" And I'd be like, "I don't know. I've been working on this fucking jean wall because customers are tearing it fucking apart."
Yeah.
Every single day.
People who don't put the thing back on the shelf where
way
they
they
just got
found
it
it?
from
Nightmares.
drives me insane.
Nightmare people.
Yeah.
I'm really big on like I learned at an early age when you take something or you move something, you put it back the way you found it.
I have seen, I think Liz can hear me. I have seen Liz take stuff off of a shelf at a grocery store
And put it back on
and
the right
put it
spot.
back in a different spot before.
Oh.
Ew, you do that too,
Oh.
Mel? Whoa!
try not to,
Hot
but-
take.
My mom does that shit. Like that's why I can't go grocery shopping. She'll be like, "You know what? I don't need this." I'm like, "Mom, you can't
Or I
put
wait to
olive
see.
oil with Gatorade." Like,
But
that is
was
fun.
That
As somebody who did stocking in stores like that before, I like can't help but put it right back where it was.
Me
And
too. I have to
front
put it
and face
back
shit.
exactly where it was.
I front and face shit too as I shop.
I do the same thing, but it is a fun little game to see. Like when you do see it, you're like, "Oh, a decision was made here." You'll see like something like,
That is awesome. I never
Dude.
thought of that.
"Oh my god, I have a really good one." It was when we went to Gabe's in
I
Price's Corner.
I fucking love Gabe's, by
Dude.
the way. I go there all the time.
Oh my fucking god! I forget what it was. I gotta find it, but it was, it was something. It was like it was like a Christmas apron, and it was put
Okay.
and it was put back where no, sorry, it was lingerie put with the aprons like the home, and I was like, damn, I guess you can turn a hoe into a house.
Oh!
Somebody did.
Fucking awesome. Gabe's is the only place where you can get British Knight shoes, Mark Echo pants, and pineapple lights in a box, like all in the same time. I fucking love
It's like
Gabe's, dude.
it's like Marshalls, but like
but so much trashier.
Yes,
I
it's-
love it, dude.
it's Marshalls with chaotic energy.
Dude, it's so,
sick.
chaotic in there.
even though like a Marshalls and like a Home Goods, they're still like hella chaotic to me.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great. I love it.
Oh, dude, the one in Glen Mills. We went up there because it's bigger, and this was before Halloween, and Darian wanted to get like a bunch of like Halloween goodies.
This is Home Goods.
I wanted to put a bullet in my head 30 fucking seconds into this fucking place because there was literally no spatial awareness whatsoever. And you know how like the lines do like this like wraparound
Yeah,
bullshit?
always.
Dude, when I tell you this woman put her cart like in the middle instead of like going back, she like just like went right here behind the other person, and there's a fucking pillar right there, and there was no way to get around except for all the way around. And I was like, "Excuse me," and she goes, "Huh?" and then she goes, "Oh," and then she just moves an inch. I'm like,
Nightmare.
You should take the cart and move it for her to a more
I
amicable place.
almost did, but
Never gonna
No.
learn otherwise.
no.
Fuck 'em. You know, you were just talking about how you would hide in the racks, like working overnights. I was gonna say, or I have another question for that, or related to that. Did you like? I'm sure early on in your guys' like tenure as retailers or retail people, you didn't always work the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Did you have places you chose to hide?
Take out trash. No one want the fucking take out trash. But this is actually when I work with Max.
Oh,
Me
actually?
and Max would both like, oh, we'll take out trash, and it'd be like 2 carts of trash. We would purposely go to the furthest one, chain smoke,
Yep.
like 2 or 3 cigarettes, just bullshit, and then go back in.
You know what?
It was like a 20-minute break, but like for like 5 minutes of work.
Yes. After you, like, as soon as you started saying that, I remembered when we worked at Guitar Center, how fun was it to take out cardboard?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
that's
that
the
was
thing.
actually super fun because it wasn't a dangerous compactor. Like, you were allowed in it, and we would just fucking jump. We would just jump into it, and like, or we'll take pallets. Have you ever
Yeah.
did that where you take the pallets and just fucking throw them, and then you just jump, and then oh god, I would forget who it was that like their foot went through it.
I've put my foot through a pallet by accident
Oh yeah, I
before.
have too actually.
How about you? Where'd you hide at?
So
The warehouse? I gotta go to the warehouse for something?
Yeah,
no, we would like
Yeah.
trash was one of them. Like I would take like one of like my employees and be like, let's go, and then we would take our little merry time and just like throw some stuff in the compactor, wait, like be like chilling, and then like at like Target, it was really easy to like fuck around just because like the apparel department is so big and there's so many different
Yeah.
like sub departments. So like if I like obviously like if I had to like find somebody, I'd have to walk around the whole like department, but like we had walkie-talkies for a reason. But like my one supervisor, she wanted me and my coworker Ashley to not do anything, like no floor sets. She wanted the kids to do that, and I would be like, they don't know how to do that,
they don't.
and they don't know how.
Stay like this far. That's perfect.
See,
Like,
you got your
I like
fingies
being
bit off.
against my mic.
Yeah, me too. I have to be like right here.
And
It
then-
can't be right up on it.
Making love to my mic.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
It's a mic on mic crime.
You're a
Oh!
lying dog faced pony soldier.
Yeah.
What is that from?
It's Biden.
That's Biden?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never listened to him talk.
It's great.
You wouldn't go to the warehouse to
We don't have
get
a
stuff
warehouse.
or backstock.
Backstock, like a lot of the time, like we would have to fix it, so like I didn't want to be back there.
Dude, boy, did I fix some backstock.
And then, like luckily, like they wanted me and Ashley to never work together, but it's like we will get so much shit done if you just let us do that.
Oh yeah.
Um,
When you work with
There
your
is-
fucking like best friend,
There's
you
dream
get
teams.
all the
The
work
best.
done. Yeah.
Dream teams. They exist.
They like literally like when we showed up at this Target, they had like 5 racks outside of the fitting room and in the fitting room. They had like stacks and stacks of like clothes, like folded clothes, like on this huge rack. We got everything out of that fitting room and in front of the fitting room our first day working together.
Wow.
And like they never finished truck. Me and Ashley went back there and did it ourselves. That was literally done in like 2 days. Because the Target trucks are huge, and they like the way they send that in, it's just in like cardboard boxes that are recyclable.
Yeah.
And they just like throw whatever in. So you have to like sort through everything.
It's like a break box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks, but
What's a break box?
Break box is just literally a box that you have to break open, sort to figure out what the
Where
fuck's
the
in
fuck
it and
it
where
is.
it goes. Yeah.
yeah. But like it's just I didn't really hide anywhere just because of the department, but if like
Well, you're a fucking workhorse anyway.
I have another hiding spot again with Max. When we both worked at Panera, we would do the trucks, which came. I can't remember the one day. I know Saturday was one day, and then the other day I want to say was Wednesday. I can't remember.
that feels right.
I think it was Wednesday and Saturday. Truck would show up at 5 a.m. So it would be like all like the hard goods, like cups and all that BS, and then there was a freezer portion, and then while we were doing that, around like 7 a.m., I think. I can't remember when. That's when our produce and like other stuff would come in, so we'd have to do the cooler. He would do the dry goods. I would do the freezer. My favorite thing was when the bakers would leave like half-open boxes like cookie dough. I would just like take a hockey puck of it and like while I'm working, just like eat it. But we would both do the cooler together. So it was like all like the sauces and like salad dressings and all that other and like produce and all of that.
Yeah.
We would lock the cooler,
Yeah.
walk-in on the inside, and people would have to knock. And then it was always like Max that would like open up and be like, "What do you want?" And, like they were like, "I need this," like for like opening for breakfast, and he would be like, "All right, cool," and he would slam the door in their face, lock it, continue talking to me, grab what they need, and be like, "Here."
And slowly walk
Yo,
it
dude,
out.
and my favorite's like, "Oh, I need ham," and he'd be like, "All right, cool," and then he would just grab like one of the preps like servings of ham, which is like 2 slices, throw it in his mouth, like, "Here you go." Dude. And it's funny about like what this podcast spawned from, because I want like I didn't know podcasts existed back then, but like I was like, dude, we need to have like a talk show or like a YouTube channel, because he would literally like I would start the cooler and he would walk in, slam the door closed and close it, and then he would look at me and go, "You know what really chaps my ass?" And then we would just have like an hour to 2 hour long bitch fest, and then we would go on lunch, or then we would take our lunch, come back, prep for lunch, and then work the lunch rush and go the fuck home.
Oh, dude, that when I worked at the other food store, I loved doing the cooler too, because when truck would come in, we would receive the truck and then load up the carts for the day for stockers to work with or something. So I would knock out the cooler carts because you'd get shut in the walk-in. You're by yourself completely. You'd have like a hoodie on, your gloves, and just headphones, and I'd just be straight chilling, listening to podcasts by myself.
I never had headphones, which sucked. I should have. Most of the time.
If I had somebody like who I was friends with there, we would be getting absolutely nothing done, just bullshitting the whole time. It sounds.
We
great.
would get shit done. Like to the point that like when we were like, "Hey, we can't." There was a time we played a show in Atlantic City, and we were like, "Dude, we can't work the truck on Saturdays." Like, please, for the love of God, can you two come in and work the truck? And we're like, if we come in, we're doing the truck and nothing else. And we literally got home, I want to say at like 3 a.m. and then had a couple beers on my friend's couch that lived around the corner from that Panera. And then we went into work. And it snowed that day too. That sucked getting home from work. We worked 5 to like, I don't know, I want to say it was like 5 to 9 or something like that. We worked the truck and left, and I had to like fucking slide my ass all the way up 95.
No, man. When I worked in the kitchen, my favorite place to hide was the walk-in. Anybody who's ever worked in any kind of kitchen space knows that.
Have you ever cried in the walk-in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or are you normal?
I've thrown shit. I've screamed, cursed in the walk-in.
Yeah.
Like, and
I've taken many a deep breath in a walk-in.
Yeah,
for
nice.
years.
Yeah. When I worked
Yeah,
at
we're just
Chili's, the walk-in, I would have to like prep like dressings and stuff, because I would have to like pre-package stuff for like a lunch rush or a dinner rush. That's like where I would like sneak food that like the cooks would make for me, and I would eat it in there.
The fucking best. I
And
loved working with
it was
food
dope.
for that. I loved working with food for that because you could eat whatever you wanted. It was the best.
My favorite was when we had to like prep the like, little fruit cups. We had to like do the pineapple, and at the bottom of like your pineapple chunks, there's just like glasses of pineapple juice.
Yummy.
That was my favorite.
That kind of brings me into my next question too. What different versions of retail have you guys worked at? Because you have, Mel, have obviously worked in not just clothing retail, but like what else? And what else have you done, Mikey?
The weirdest I've ever done was I worked at Harry and David when I was 18.
What's that? Or what was that?
Nice.
It was like a. I'm trying to explain like what it was really. So like they had like it was kind of like Trader Joe's, but like in a very very small scale. They were in malls or like shopping centers and stuff like that, but they were small.
They sold food.
Like, they sold food. It was like specialty like salsas and like soup mixes.
So like
and
farmers market food?
Kind of like I don't know.
Kind of like condiments and non-perishable stuff.
It was a lot of
fresh.
It was a lot of non-perishables. I mean, we still had like FIFO, like certain things. Like we obviously had like we would have bags of like flavored popcorn, first in, first out.
I don't know what that means.
It means the first one, like the expiration dates.
First in, first out, like bananas.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Okay. Copy that.
I worked there. It wasn't that long. It was actually, what was funny is I worked at Starbucks in that mall. And this is Christiana Mall back when the Starbucks was over where the Lush, or not Lush. Like, yeah, we're across from Lush is now.
Okay.
There was a Starbucks there, and the manager hired me as a key holder. I was like, I was 18, $10 an hour. I was like, woohoo!
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
2008,
I'm
like that was
rich.
fucking sick. Like getting like $400, like a little under $400 a week was awesome.
Is that where Lovesack is now? Or-
Yes,
okay.
that's exactly where
I got
Lovesack
you.
is now. And Harry and David was right across, like right next door.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like special. Like mainly what they did was like our big things. Like we had like, it was called B2B, business to business. Like we had to kind of just like reel in like people with their corporate credit cards that need like gift baskets for stuff, and like we would make gift baskets and
Okay.
stuff like that too.
I understand.
Yeah.
Specialty shit. I
Special,
I
yeah.
get you.
They did have like their big thing is like what started that company was like pears. They had like these. That was
Hey,
the first time I ever
shout
had a
out to
pear.
all the pear.
Exactly. First time I ever had a pear, I was like, oh fuck,
Yo,
like,
these
pears
actually
are
slap.
fucking good. Like holy shit. And then I never had a pear after that. But I worked there. It's
too obvious of a joke
Obviously,
there.
just at Starbucks. Worked there for a little bit too.
Starbucks.
But mostly it's been closed. Like I did.
When did Panera too?
Went to Tilly's like right after
Okay.
Harry and
Wow.
David.
A throwback.
Tilly's.
It's still around.
And
Oh
they
yeah,
just came back.
It's
to
bigger than
Christiana Mall.
ever.
It was better then.
Then
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I worked at Guitar Center, obviously. Then I worked at Panera, and then worked at Vans, and that's it.
Yeah.
Was it on here that we had somebody that I said Pacific Sunwear and they didn't know what I was talking about? And
Yes,
you
it was
said,
Jay.
okay,
It was Jay.
It
It
was
was
Jay.
Jay.
It was Jay.
That's right. And he was like, I didn't know it was a full name. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's hilarious.
I remember where the Hot Topic is now was a PacSun.
No, it was
Or was it close?
no,
enough?
it was
So it
Fuck,
was by
I
the
don't
old,
know.
Mall's
it was
all
by
weird.
the old food court. So you would
Yeah.
literally, if you were in the old food, I was just talking to Darian about this the other day. You would walk
Yeah.
in,
Yep.
and then you kind of go to the right,
And that
then
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic
immediately
was on the
left,
right.
there,
That was
right
when
there.
it had the
was on the
round,
left.
the circle entrance.
no. When you first walk in,
first walk in, it was
into
on the
the
right.
old food court, you walk to the right.
Yeah,
That
you
was
walked
Hot
to the right, and
Topic.
then Hot Topic was on the left-hand side of the.
No, Hot Topic
corridor.
was
It was the
on
immediate
right.
right.
It was the big sewer thing on the outside.
I do remember. Oh, shit.
Yeah, because
The cool one.
yeah, it was really cool looking. And then if you
Goth one.
kept
Uh-huh.
going straight, as soon as you stepped out, like literally the line out of like the line on the floor to like food court, PacSun was right in front of you.
Okay.
No, yeah. Oh, wait. You said Hot Topic. Hot Topic was to the right.
Yes, and then
Yeah,
PacSun
and then you went out of the food court, and PacSun was like kind of like.
Oh,
right
wait,
in
I
front of
remember
you.
this.
Yeah,
I-
there was always
yeah.
a kiosk right in front of like
You
a
said-
piercing
you-
pagoda.
You,
Yep,
literally,
it was
said
Cinnabon.
Hot Topic, and I was like, no, PacSun wasn't right there.
No, we were
There was
saying
a Cinnabon in front
Yeah.
of the
yeah, there was
Yes,
it was
it
Cinnabon.
was
It was
Cinnabon.
fucking Cinnabon. That's right.
I remember that sign.
Or was it
vividly.
an Annie Ann's?
It was a Cinnabon.
It was a Cinnabon?
100%.
Yeah.
You guys remember when Strawbridge's was there?
Nah.
And it had,
I
like,
do,
the
yeah.
tower outside, the clock tower outside.
That's
right.
Well,
I used
well,
to me and Potter used to skate there.
Do you remember when the movie theater was inside of the mall?
So that's what we
Vaguely.
were talking about. When I first went to Christiana Mall,
yeah.
the movie theater was gone. But the entrance was still there. It was when they started the new construction for the new food
Oh,
court.
that's
which
the
is
first time
where-
you went?
Yes.
Oh,
It was like
shit.
2006,
Yeah,
2007.
because I went on my first date there in like 2002.
Actually, no, wait.
To
the
that movie theater.
They got rid of the movie theater, I think, in 2000. It might have been 2005.
That sounds about
Yeah.
right. We saw Clock Stoppers.
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Now, how about you, honey? What all retail jobs have you had besides H&M and Target and Chili's?
So I worked. My first job was Chili's. I made so much fucking money there. It was ridiculous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I worked to go, so I got paid hourly. And then I was so good. I had so many regulars and to go that I would get I would work a Tuesday and make like $250.
And this
wow.
is cash, by the way.
Yeah, cash tips
Nice.
or credit card tips, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Richmond,
Did you still work at Chili's?
no, they didn't have a Chili's.
So you went
down
from,
there.
you went from Chili's to where?
So, like, when I first moved there, I worked at a cupcake shop. The manager there, she talked badly about everyone, so I was like, I have to get the fuck out of here.
Was it Sweet and Sassy Cupcakes? Remember
No.
that? Remember that chain? I think there was like a small chain of that.
Yeah, there was like.
Hey, it's about to be 8 o'clock, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
But
good.
after that, I
We're
found
killing it on time.
Okay, because
I found Maggiano's, which is also a Brinker company, which Chili's is Brinker. So I
Oh.
started working there, and it's an Italian restaurant.
couldn't tell.
Maggiano.
So I did
Yeah,
to go there.
No kidding.
I did to go there, and I liked it. But then my roommate at the time, she worked at H&M, and H&M was hiring, and I literally sat down with my eventually store manager, and we were just like sitting like this, just like talking, like we knew each other for a really long time. And then like I worked in the Richmond, like I opened up stores in Richmond. I worked at an outdoor mall there, and then actually 2 outdoor malls, and then they opened a brand new one, and then I got promoted. And I was, like, so sad at the time. I was like, I just want to move home. So the Harbor was the only place that had the opening for a supervisor.
Oh.
So I literally went to, like, the supervisor, like, thing where, like, they test you and stuff. And
I almost
great.
wrote that down. Keep going, sorry.
Did great on that. I got my little thing, moved back home, worked at 2 H&Ms there. Actually 3. I like literally went to one to work for like a day. And then that one lady who should not be named at H&M.
Her name is
Who now
Voldemort.
works for Target.
Her name is Voldemort,
Well,
actually.
The funny thing is, so our one store manager, we think she got fed up and stole like $250 worth of
I thought you were
like,
going to say
money.
just got fed.
No. And like we never saw her again or heard from her again.
Ooh.
So, like, we got this one lady, and there was a lady that works as the HR district manager. Her and that lady got fired at the same time because during the pandemic, that store manager didn't show up for any of her shifts.
Nice.
And literally, like, no one in district knew. But she's best friends with somebody in district, so obviously she didn't get in trouble for it.
Yeah, they're like this.
Man.
So
Politics.
Shitbag move, man.
So it's really
Yep.
funny.
Fuck politics and retail.
Like
Yeah.
when I quit
Shitty.
H&M, my store manager that promoted me, he goes, "What the fuck happened?" And I was
It's like,
like,
why are you quitting?
he's like, what happened? So I told him what happened, and he was just like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." He was rooting for me.
Of course, yeah.
And
Oh, rooting for you.
and so I like kept in touch with people, obviously, and they told me all this, and I was like, I'm not surprised at all. But apparently, once she got fired, she got hired for guest engagement or whatever that department is, like where like you return things. She got put there as a ETL, and I was just like, I wonder if she's showing up for her shifts.
Probably not.
And it's just like, it sucks because like all those people that are just failing like upwards, and they're like not like doing what they're supposed to. And like meanwhile, like before I quit on my last day of my 2 weeks that I put in, we had a stockroom refresh, and she saw how much work I did because she used to follow me to the bathroom. Like she was like an HR like nightmare.
Jesus.
But
She
since
did everything you shouldn't do as a leader.
like she wouldn't let me take off for the 2 weeks for my my tonsils.
Oh, that's
That's the same one.
Yeah, like
Okay.
literally nightmare.
we talk about failing upwards how much on this show?
Oh,
All
dude, the
time?
army it's full of it.
And it's like all these kids, like I remember I had like I always called my employees my kids because they were always so much younger than me.
I did that too, and then I remember I had a leader who was like, "Yeah, it's a little weird." I'm like, "Yeah, but
They're my babies.
They're
they're like,
children.
yeah." I'm like,
They're fucking-
I understand where you're coming
You
from,
are
but
all
they're
my
fucking
children.
kids.
They are, though.
They're kids.
So I remember I had one, like he was like crying, so I let him go home.
Aw.
And like, cause his
was he
friend
crying?
like apparently like committed suicide like a couple days before that, and like
Hey.
like the thing is like I try to be understanding, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
Yeah, remember when what's his name from that band that we know, when his mom was going through that stuff?
oh yeah, like he was like a good friend at the time, like him and I were like I got him the job there, and like when we
You
worked
hire your
trucks-
friends.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I got Ashley a job there too.
Exactly.
I got Tom a job one time.
It's true.
I've hired
Cute.
friends before. Just
Sometimes
for
it's
like seasonals,
bad.
and actually they ended up being like some of my best people. I'm like, all right, yeah, you
Exactly.
can, dude, if you want to stay, you can stay. Just give me the heads up that like if you need to go,
Just go.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, just give me a heads
Let
up.
me know.
Yeah.
But like
Communicate.
I just like can't imagine her working like differently at any place. Just
Probably not.
because like it just always blew my fucking mind. But
So, Yeah, after.
After that, and now I am in a contact center, and I work from home.
And it's fucking sweet.
And it's sick.
Well, the company's fucking sweet.
I would
Yeah.
like to work from home, but like I
It's
said
not for
before,
everybody.
I need to like be making enough money to have that separation of work and home.
Yeah, you need to be able to create space for yourself like that.
Yep.
I fully am with you on that.
Like I do it. I've been doing it a little bit with this job now, but like just on like specifically the job I'm on now, where I have to do just a couple hours here and there of like administrative work at home. But after that, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it.
Interesting. No, you guys have both had very varying resumes, I could say. I only have a little bit more, for this episode.
And I only stayed with. I mean, every job I've had was like a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I did that.
And then Vans was the only job I had that was like almost a fucking decade that I worked with.
So
them.
crazy. Yeah. I would work a place 2 years, 3 years, 2 years.
I worked at Chili's for 5 years.
He works.
I think Vans was almost 9.
That's
hold on. Let's
crazy.
see. 2002 July. I can tell you right now. July 27th, 2014. So we had 2014 to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1. Oh, almost 8 years. I almost made it.
Did you
I
just
left
quit?
April 12th was my last day of 2022.
2022.
Wow. End of an era.
Mm-hmm. Quite literally, the Vans low top era.
Whoa.
Nah, I'm wearing sports today.
Anyway, it's funny that you guys were just talking about your friends, because another thing that I wrote down is like, how was the climate in the places that you worked conducive to making friends? Like, are you still friends with a lot of people that you worked with? Obviously, you are, because you were in Ashley's fucking wedding a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Did you guys take friends away from these jobs? Was it fun?
So
like that? Yes, no?
Yes and no. There's a few people from like past jobs I still Facebook friends with. Like, they're not people I'm gonna go like hit up like, let's go have a drink. You're not gonna have
friends
with
them.
Yeah, I have had went to parties and like hung out with them like when I was younger. After we'd already left, like stuff like that. But like, there's a few like when I worked at Vans, like I had an ASM who was awesome. And actually, honestly, like I don't think if it wasn't for him and my other ASM that I had at the time, when I opened that store before the last one I worked at before I left, like I don't think it would have been successful. Like
that's
without
Ohio
those
you're
two,
talking about?
Yeah, without those two, like their dynamic, and then like me, like just kind of guiding like all of this, like that got the store open, that got everything running, and the store did fucking great because I had somebody who was like. I had a good cop, bad cop underneath of me. I didn't have to fucking play that card anymore with my kids. But like after he quit to get a job that was like work from home and like in his field, he had like a whole like degree in fashion and all that, and he was doing something around those lines that was like going to get him in the door. But like we would all the time just go skate, hang out, have some drinks, like stuff like that. But
and then aside from Ashley, whose wedding we were at, like
a month or two ago.
Yes, about 2.5. Who like you obviously made a lot of friends at your jobs.
Yeah. I still talk to Lawrence every once in a while.
That's good. I miss him.
And he's an actual angel. Like when I worked down at the harbor, I told everybody I was like going to White Marsh.
When she says the harbor, she means literally the inner harbor
of Baltimore. Yes, no, I know.
Yeah, like you know where Ripley's, believe it or
listeners.
not, was?
Yeah.
That's where I worked.
Okay.
Baltimore, yeah.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
When I told everybody I was going, he literally followed me to White Marsh because he liked working with me so much.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was just one of those things where it's like I wanted people to trust me like that just because I really cared about my job. So once like everything hit the fucking fan, like that's why my old manager was like, what the fuck happened? Because like I literally like worked so hard to get that promotion.
That necklace is so funny on the microphone.
Leave her alone.
See, I wish I did that. I had so Columbus now has 3 stores for Vans locations.
I
start the first one. Like, a lot of cities only just have like one, and they're all like half hour, 45 minutes away, like something like that. Like Columbus is one. I mean, there's Chicago that has like State Street, Michigan Ave, like a bunch of different locations. But like, I opened the first one. as a store manager, and like I led the grand opening for Tuttle, and I led the grand opening for like the other store I worked at Easton. When I was going to Easton, I had people who were like, "Oh, I want to come work with you at Easton." I was like, "No." Not no as in like no, fuck you. Like these are people like I wanted to bring, but the reason I said I was so up my own, or not up my own ass, but like I was told by my DM, "Hey, Michelle wants you."
Your dungeon master.
Michelle wants you to hire and train a brand new staff, and if you can show that you can still get the same results, like, cool, he's ready to go. Like wherever he wants to go, he can go wherever. So it was like pretty much just like, hey, you've been good. You've shown that you're good at recruiting and developing staff. Do it again from scratch. So that was in my head, but also my ASM got promoted. Like when I was like going to this store, got promoted to store manager, and the store manager from the lower volume store was taking over my store. So it was kind of like one of those things. I was like, no, you need to stay here because this person needs your support.
Yeah.
This person you need to support them. You're not coming with me. Like I don't need your help.
So it made.
I taught you everything you need to know to grow, continue to grow by supporting them, and like that was my whole thing. But now I just kind of wish because apparently the store manager that took over my store was like, from what I know, like from the people who stuck around, horrible. And then also would like shit talk me and Jenna, who was like my ASM at the time. Like, oh yeah, like, like they just suck up. I'm like, no,
bunch of haters.
Like,
yeah,
not really sucking up. I'm actually putting in fucking work.
Yeah, unlike some people like yourself. Exactly.
Pretty much.
No, so both of you guys really, you kind of, that's the word I was looking for. You created like a culture around you of like a good place to be at, which is fucking rare.
What's really funny about that is the fact that obviously, yes, I'm the store manager. Like, so they're like, oh, well, it sucks. Like, I don't want to work with, sometimes would happen. Like, I don't want to work with Mike, but like sometimes it wouldn't be like that. But like the only people who like truly kind of respected me were like, everyone had respect for me. But
they
like,
have respect, but
it would always be like, oh, fuck,
yeah,
I'm closing with Mike tonight. Like,
I gotta
that means that means we're gonna actually be here until shit's done.
Yes.
But after I would leave, text messages like, fuck. Like, why'd you leave us?
Yeah.
We didn't realize that like how good we had it. And I'm like, told you. Like I literally told my staff that before I quit Vans in general. I'm like, I'm gonna do all of this for you guys right now, but like you need to start following me and like pick it up because when I'm gone,
you're gonna be in hell.
And they're like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're gonna get blah 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 back. And like they didn't get that. They didn't get that person back. They brought someone else in, and they're like, we didn't realize how much you actually did in 8 hours.
Well,
that you cared about, that like made life easy for us.
And sometimes it was more like 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And man, I only have one more thing for you guys.
Okay.
And we kind of touched on it at the very beginning, and I was going to say, has working in retail and service changed the way that you shop?
Yes and no.
Has it? It's probably made a huge impact on you as a consumer and especially as a customer.
100%. There's been plenty of times that like there's stores I won't go into because I'm like, I'm not going in there because it's going to suck.
As like an experience.
As an experience.
Despite the fact that you may need something from that particular store.
I have walked out of stores wholeheartedly knowing that like I want this. I don't know where this is, but I want this. I'm gonna go find it. And there's been times where like I found it without any help, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna order it online and just
it's the
boom.
And not support the store.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, it sucks. I really want to do that sometimes, but I fucking just can't.
Now I don't care anymore. Now I'm just like, I want this now. Like this microphone I'm talking into. Like I wanted it, dude. I waited 45 minutes almost for this microphone at the Guitar Center we fucking worked at. Where my name is on a plaque on the outs when you walk into that fucking store because we had the most successful year that year.
That shit right there, that's me.
Yes.
That's me.
I used to be somebody.
Well, you probably had this too, like where you go to that Guitar Center and you they ask you for your phone number for like the account, and they're like, "Did you used to work here?" Because like, you have the 838-000-954 whatever the fucking customer number is, and they're like, "I'm like, yes, I did."
Boy, did I.
That happened to get a Guitar Centers across the fucking country. Like, do you work for Guitar Center? I'm like,
yes,
not anymore.
I did.
Like, I did.
Not only did I, but me and fucking Sikorsky back in the day, we had the tightest drum department that company has ever seen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the company Sikorsky.
No. My
No,
coworker
Swaz? I know you're talking the diamond place?
Swarovski.
Yeah.
Swarovski?
No. Sikorsky makes helicopters.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's like huge.
He's related to that Sikorsky.
That makes sense.
I found
yeah.
out. Well, anyway,
They're local. I mean, they're.
but back then,
Oh, really?
you could walk into Guitar Center and somebody would actually come and help you in
Yes.
one of the departments because
Yes.
we were on the ball. There
Yep.
were 2 people in the drum department back then.
Now
You walk
it's
in
not-
there and you wait
Now.
45
Now,
minutes.
here's the thing: is it's not the
Now.
fault of the people that
Now.
work the sales floor. It's
But-
the upper management that have cut their hours to the point where, when I was there buying all this shit, he was like, "Dude, it's just me and 2 ops,
Yeah.
1 person from ops. That's it.
I hate going into
2
Guitar Center,
fucking
I'll be real
people
with
It's
you.
for
a
that
nightmare.
entire store
It
is
is a fucking
fucking,
nightmare there.
insane. I mean, granted, it was like a Wednesday afternoon. I forget when it was. Like, it was Wednesday because I got off of work early because there's nothing else for me to do. I took a half day, and I was like, I'm gonna go to Guitar Center, see Mikey,
Book
shoot
Mikey
the
B.
shit, yeah, shoot the shit, buy a bunch of things I want to see, and then I realized when I got there, I was like, oh shit, how much is on my Guitar Center?
Dude, he's
I opened up my
literally
Guitar Center card. I looked at my limit, it increased, and I was like, "Ooh, that's bad."
I gotta get
Not
get
this
out.
again. I actually went and looked at electronic kits because I was like, I kind of want an E kit again.
Nice.
Dude, there are good ones.
That's
for
how good my increase was. I was like,
There are-
I could get an E kit again.
There are really good ones for like $600 now.
Oh, I
It's
know because
fucking
I have.
tempting.
You could just MIDI in, MIDI out to interface and have. I have slate drums.
Dude, Mikey B is literally the last samurai of that store. He's
Mm-hmm.
the last man standing.
No pun intended.
No, seriously, no. And I'm sorry to stomp all over your answer, but
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and like I feel like when I go out, like you say, I don't put things back. If I go to a store,
I mean, you don't not do it.
when I go to a store, like I'll like resize
I
shelves and
stopped.
shit.
I stopped doing that. I used to do that all the time.
I can't
And-
help it.
I
Dude, I
stopped.
always do it.
like I'll refold the shirt. Like I
Yep.
get like really upset when I
Hang
watch
the
people
pants,
do that.
Hang the pants
Yep.
properly.
Yeah.
Sure,
I do
Did
too.
you guys
Fold it
do
exact-
the what is that thing called?
shirt square.
No, not shirt square. The edging. Did you edge your?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm all about edging.
Not that kind of. Not that kind of edging.
Breaking
But
your balls
I
ain't no
will
better when you're
do-
getting fucking fresh.
I'll do a little story. So, as you
Ooh.
guys know, Tom loves Lululemon.
Oh,
It's
he does?
true. I'm a big fan.
So,
I didn't know that.
I think it was like our second Christmas. He got me a pair of their leggings, like my first pair ever.
Were they matching?
Fuck you if you still work there, by the way.
Why? What's wrong
so
with them?
listen, I wore the leggings once and like it tore a hole in the back. I
You
don't
did
know
not
how-
wear them. You tried them on. Let's be very clear about that.
So and they ripped, and that's fine. It wasn't because like they were too small. Like it was just the material.
Literally just happened.
So we went to the Glen Mills store to return them.
The shop's at Brinton Lake, if you're listening, by the way.
So I go in, I'm looking in their sales section because like I'm like, oh, like while I'm here, like I want to see like what's on sale. This lady, she fucking what did they call it?
She profiled
She
you?
profiled my ass because I came in there.
What's
I
it called when you watch somebody in the store to make sure they're like if you
profiling.
well, there's a name.
profiling.
There's a name for it though. If someone's giving off bad vibes, you kind of just keep an eyeball on them.
Spy?
Suspicious.
Anyway,
So,
she
I
profiled
like
her.
literally like my hair was like a mess and then like I didn't have any makeup on that day. So I guess I looked a little rough, but like obviously like
We had
No.
hoodies on. Fucking
Tattoo showing?
no,
no, it was
No?
wintertime.
not one.
Well, no makeup in Glen Mills
It's weird for that
does
area.
make sense.
So-
to like be like,
No, we had
look at this raggedy couple. in here.
right. We
Yeah.
had hoodies on. Fucking
You probably look like a bunch of dope fiends to them.
So
in comparison
yeah.
to them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe because we weren't
I
dressed in
feel that
fucking-
way even if I get ready to go to the to Glen Mills.
So he has the receipt. Like
I literally have everything ready. I'm
Like-
like, I want to do a simple exchange. This fucking happened.
and she goes, "Oh, we can't do that."
Why?
And I was like, "Why?" And I was like, "We have the receipt. It's in the 30 days."
It was
Oh,
like
we can't
day.
do that.
It was like day one that we had them.
And so I had to contact corporate to get my exchange. And the thing is, like, what drives me nuts. So I would never treat a customer like this, even if I literally thought they were stealing, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
They literally lost a switch out like sale. I could have bought 5 things off their sale rack.
Yeah.
Because we
That
were
you
already there.
That you wanted.
That I wanted. But guess what? Since you treated me like shit, you missed that fucking sale.
I would have just returned. But like, no, what? I'm just gonna return these and walk the fuck out.
We did. We had. Well, so what?
Did you exchange them or did you return them?
We straight up returned them because I think they didn't have pockets, and we went with a different model that was actually on sale, and we saved a little bit of money or something.
No, I just would have returned them and be like, bye.
But the point, she wasn't accepting it. So the point was.
But the thing is, she thought I cut the hole or something. Something like
who knows?
stupid.
Who knows?
And even if it did show up that way, like people get like broken things in the mail all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Every day it happens.
Yeah, that shit happens all the time. But there has been times where like I kind of made people feel like shit for them being like, yeah, I just tried it on and it ripped because Vans t-shirts have like these tags that are right here.
Yeah.
You can see when someone tried to cut them and they
Yeah.
cut
That's
the
my
seams.
worst.
That's different.
And then
That's
I would
my
be
worst
like,
enemy.
oh, what happened to the tags that were in here? They're like, there weren't any tags in there.
What tags? What
It's-
tags?
They're always like kids, and I just like make them feel like shit.
What are you
I'm gonna
talking
do
about?
it regardless, but like I just want to make them feel like
I haven't
nervous.
seen you in a long time, and I'm breaking
Like
your
it's
balls in
different
right
when
you're getting
they
fucking
return
fat.
something and it's like missing. There's a
Yeah.
hole where the sensors were, or
Yeah.
whatever.
It
But,
probably
like,
ripped on the leg, right?
It rips like
The
right behind
yeah.
here.
Yeah, where there's no sensor.
Yeah. So
No
it's
seam.
just
There's
like
a scene. There was a scene.
There was a seam. Okay.
so it's just like one of those things where it's like you have to watch yourself, especially as a white person. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what other person is in the store. You can't make your customers feel like shit. And then we looked up the reviews like on like Google, and there were so many bad reviews on the store.
Oh, on that exact one.
That
Yeah.
exact manager.
Whoa.
They multiple reviews. You can still look it up to this day on Google. The white lady manager, the blonde lady who manages that Lululemon store, is notoriously a piece of shit.
Oh damn.
So you guys ever hear about the Lululemon murder? We're not going to get into it today, but
No.
where the associate murdered her manager
I
in
have-
a Lululemon in Maryland.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think in White Marsh.
I watched a
I think it
YouTube
was-
I don't
video
think
on
it's
it a
White Marsh. It's
while
probably
ago.
Towson.
Is Towson? No, not Towson. Fuck. I think it was an outdoor mall.
These fucking outdoor malls.
It
Just
might have been.
everywhere. I've never
Chaos.
been to one.
I don't know. It's a wild story.
It's a lawless
Because
land.
never
this is
wanna
when-
go.
This is when the iPhone, like the iPhone was
outdoor
coming
land.
out, and like they were setting up like an iPhone release, and they're like, yeah, we heard stuff happening.
Dude,
Dude,
when
it's a
I,
wild. We can listen to it on the way to Philly.
when
It's
I was
actually a good
managing
one, yeah.
the barbershop in Bear, this is insane. I don't think I ever told you this.
Ooh.
The AT&T store, it was 3 stores down from us, connected in the same shopping center. It got robbed at gunpoint twice, but they not only robbed them, they tied them all up like movie shit. Masks on,
heist?
like AR-15s,
like fucking
like
Point Break shit.
twice this happened. It was they were stealing the phones to sell to China because China was paying big dollar for smartphones at the time. This is like 2014, 2015.
Now here's-
we didn't notice a thing. We didn't see anything.
Hot take. The tied up employees were never in real harm. They were in on it.
Possibly, but I don't think so.
Yeah, you never know.
I think they were pretty frightened. Like
Maybe,
I mean, you never know, but
maybe one of them was in on it.
I'd say
maybe one of them was in on it. Yeah.
I'd say improbable, not impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a jewel heist in North Wilmington one time. They went in through the ceiling. I had cops. Yeah,
That's fucking sweet.
I know, it was cool.
All I could think of is Jackass. I think it was Jackass 2 where they come through the ceiling. Was it Jackass 2 or was it the first one?
Who knows?
I don't even
knows?
remember.
And the
dude.
dude fucking gets up and books it.
Dude, this episode's been fucking awesome.
Yeah, stellar.
Dude, thank you guys both for being on. I don't think there's a better place to wrap it up than here.
No.
Always wrap it up.
Hope everybody listening had a great Thanksgiving and Black Friday in the
know.
retail world.
Same.
Be fucking nice to people
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
this holiday
but,
season.
But I'm gonna rub it in. This is my first year in my entire working career not working Black Friday, and it's a paid fucking holiday for me. So
Go off, King.
Hey, all right.
That's no more retail Black Fridays for any of us.
no, and you can be next.
Yeah, it is
could.
possible.
Oh, this camera. You could be next.
Be
nice.
be fucking nice to people.
Yeah, and the rest of this rest of this holiday season,
hate it.
it is your fault that the item is not in stock. It is your fault that you got to piss. I don't know. It's your fault. Everything's your fault, not the fucking 16-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, even fucking 32-year-old who's just working and just needs a fucking cigarette, needs some food. Your fault. Order online. Be prepared, or
Bye.
Christmas is fucking ruined.
That's a great tip. Be fucking prepared for literally any questions. Oh, maybe look up the hours in which of a place in which you're about to try and go to.
Yes.
So you don't whine to somebody that they just closed and they're like, "Oh, I only had one thing." Too fucking bad.
Yeah.
There's a thing called Google on your phone.
Yeah.
That is free.
It's free.
And it's sometimes wrong, but act like you've been there before.
Yeah, it's wrong
Yeah.
sometimes.
Also, every company, especially retail company, they have an app. You can look
That's
up store
true.
locations and hours.
You can just call. Like
Yeah,
a
literally
fucking
call.
Adult,
You can also call
but
if
I
you want to
won't
make
answer.
it really easy.
And also, don't poop in socks and don't pee on people's floors. Thanks.
Yes. And your kids are your responsibility.
Exactly.
Remember that? Remember
What
that
else
story,
we got?
Matt?
Yeah. Yes, I
Eat
do.
in the food court, you piece of shit.
All right.
Don't bring your drinks in and then leave them on our shelves.
Ooh,
Yes.
That's yucky behavior
Yes.
too. This
And
has been,
smoke better weed before you come into my store.
This has been Thank You for Your Services.
You
podcast.
smell bad and everybody knows.
You can find us on
Yeah.
YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. Everything is on our Instagram. Thanks for
Yes.
your services _podcast.
Happy
And I'm a
hour.
lizard.
Happy hour and go home. Don't come to my fucking store, even though I don't work in retail anymore.
Thanks for your services _podcast. Links to all the socials, all the podcast platforms, all that good shit. And if you're not a social media person, if you have a story of your own, if you have any questions for us, anything, shoot us an email at thankyoufforyourservices@gmail.com. And how's that spelled, Matt?
On the spot.
I know. I was like, you normally get to look at it. I'm not a great speller.
Thank you for
It
your
is
services.
spelled
At gmail.
THANK
Oh my God, I didn't
YOUFORURSERVICES at gmail.com.
I honestly thought you were going to go, it's thankyoufforyourservices@gmail.com. And that is thank you. Your is spelled UR services@gmail.com. Bye, everybody.
I'm